Hello, and good morning. So, version 90A has just come out. Came out as of last night. So, came with a few little changes here. And actually, let me go ahead and pull the full changelog up here. There we are. Get this thing up. Alright, so, daggers got very slightly stronger, 1- and 2-hand katanas are very slightly weaker, hammers have a slightly lower attack and damage bonus. Which I'm kind of wondering how that'll end up affecting the level 1 run I was trying, because hammers were kind of doing a lot of damage in that one. Actually, on average, spears were doing about 12, hammers were doing about 33 on most things, but anyway. Stabs have higher attack and lower damage bonus, as they're essentially blunt weapons. That makes sense. So that'll make them better at piercing, worse at overall damage, though. Books have a lower damage bonus for the same reason, shields too. Makes sense. Throw item innate ability won't attempt to counter anymore, as amusing as that was, so that is the Boston Hello, or New York Hello, however you want to call it. Throw stone will, however. All armor types have a lower HP bonus, boulder toss costs a bit more RT, and it has a slightly higher attack bonus. So it's actually a bit more reliable now. And actually, I'm kind of curious how to see how that'll end up working out on hoplites and such. So, we'll see how it does. So, class-wise, HP was reduced for most human classes, less for squishy units, more for tanky ones. In conjunction with the equipment change, it reduces the HP gap between classes, making tanks a bit easier to kill. Which yeah, is very, very appreciated. So, if you ran into that whole case where you ran into, for example, like a zombie Terror Knight that you could never kill off and it would just keep coming back, that's one of those things. So, actually, every part of that thing got nerfed pretty recently, so they're a lot easier to deal with in general, but yeah, just in general, tanks actually have to be a little bit careful at this point. So all golems got more dexterity, as much as a Cyclops has, more for some, on account of having opposable thumbs. Unlike the other monsters, this should make them more versatile as a makeshift artillery unit. Vartan can use minor buffs, and stronger songsters can use major buffs. So that should make them a little bit more useful in general. I have to say, the golems, by the way, just to kind of show this off. So yeah, they're doing a bit more respectable damage now as far as their throws go. But yeah, I have this guy selected for one thing in particular coming up here. So Apocrypha spells do less damage by default to make room for the light spell bonus, which is fine. They were doing pretty insane amounts as they were. Poison got reverted back to normal accuracy because the CPU was using it too much. Yeah, this is very true. Like, every fight turned into casters poisoning everyone because of the 100% accuracy, but it was still pretty darn fun. So, light damage spells do slightly more damage to living, but substantially more to, or slightly less, I'm sorry. Less to living, more to undead. Dark is the opposite. They don't damage undead, but they do more to living. The exception to those two are bursts, because of the mechanical limitations. So if you're unfamiliar with the bursts, those are the 2-tile burst that Dragoons and Spellblades get. They're very situational, but can potentially be really good. So Ascend costs more, but affects an area now to compensate. CPU is spamming it too much, so no more Flying Knights of Heim, which was pretty dang sweet, I have to say. Whatever, I'm glad I got that on video. Teleport costs less recovery time, bugs to traps introduced in the last patch were fixed, so no more Wheel of Time takes nothing to work. And First Aid was given a bit of range. Positioning is important for a melee character, and it isn't a very strong ability. We'll take a look at that in a second. And Heaven's Tear visually changed to Boulder Rain to fit the new role of golems as a artillery support unit. So let's go ahead and shut this off. Now, where did I move you? I think it was up here that I had him go and do his throw. So yeah, this looks like this now, which looks a lot more awesome, I have to say. So that looks very nice these days. By the way, if you're wondering on the levels, like whatever happened to this save file, I actually just put in a cheat to put everybody at 30 because I did not have a leveled up golem. So yeah, everything about this particular save file might be a little bit off, except for this guy. He was in it from, he was actually hired on during this run, Actually, I think most of these characters were. I want to say Saria had died in my original one. I also wanted to show Clear Skies. So this is one of those affect all abilities, so if you're wondering what that looks like, it looks a little bit like that. It is an active ability though, so it's kind of if they don't have anything else in range. And yeah, I think this will be the last actual move here. Okay, let's go ahead and retreat out of this one and look at what the rest of the party is doing, just to take a look at First Aid's range. Alright, ignore the random characters that are changed. This is on the same emulator as the Steve run, therefore some of them are basically fairies. Anyways, yeah, First Aid. Let's turn you back into a ranger. I guess I didn't really even need to do that, did I? But yeah, that's given a range of 3 now, and it no longer scales. So I believe the scaling was taken out a while ago, but it removes a debuff from everybody within 3 tiles, so that is amazing now, actually. So, now I'm assuming it's the same thing as Ease used to do originally, where it's essentially the first one from a list, because it says a debuff, not all debuffs. So alright. There we go. What are we missing here? I think that's everything. Let's take a quick look at the armors. See how health has changed. See, it looks like it maxes out at about a 50 bonus. Looks like 35 if we're looking at endgame vests. Yeah, looking like around that range there. Let's see, lowest health bonus starts out at 15, ends up moving up to 25 and 20 pretty quick here. Yeah, so that's been reduced a fair bit. How are we looking at helmets? So 25 to 38, by the looks of it. And then gloves, let's see. Got 10 on the low end, and we got 35 on the high end, so Hellforge seems like they're pretty amazing nowadays. Actually, might be worth keeping that on somebody just for the bonus. Well, aside from the many other bonuses they give too. Unless I'm actually missing anything on the save file, which is possible. And then we got, looks like 25 to 50 on the boots. So, I think that about covers it. Also, Azelston is not normally a fairy. That's fine. Don't worry about it. And, alright, yeah, sounds good. So, see you in the next part of whichever run is next. And, yeah, go check out the update. Have a good one.